Federal government on Wednesday decried the neglect of the leather industry, saying the sector can employ over 700,000 citizens. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Maha, has unveiled plans to enhance Nigeria's leather industry by promoting the local productions of shoes, belts, and bags. Speaking on the importance of organized animal processing, Maha said that this during an interview on Wednesday morning. He emphasized the need for centralized abattoirs and skin collection centers to optimize the use of hides and skins. For you to optimize on skin collection, you need a central animal processing unit, he stated. He added that proper slaughtering methods would ensure hygienic meat production while preserving raw materials for the leather industry. The minister highlighted that Nigeria loses billions due to the consumption of hides as food. He warned against the health hazards of using kerosene to burn animal skins, stressing the need for safer processing methods. By our estimation, that industry can employ about almost 700,000 Nigerians, and by value, our own estimate about 23 billion naira. Now, we are not yet there because of certain incidences that he stated. He pointed to the success of the shoemaking industry in Maiduguri and Aba, where local factories are already producing footwear, including jungle boots for the armed forces. Please, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, what you have to say concerning this, please.
For me, I don't think Nigeria is neglecting the leather production because Nigeria has not given them that platform to strive. Most foreign countries buy our leathers from us. There is this part of Nigeria, I think in the north or something, I think either the northern area or one of the northern areas, they transport our leathers to all these big brands you see in the world today, the likes of Louis Vuitton and the rest. In Nigeria, a Nigerian factory that produces this leather transports it to them. Why can't our country do those kind of bags for us? It's because they've not given them that such platform to do such job.
Okay.
Because Nigeria is one country that I'll always say Nigeria is one country that they can never, when they see that you're progressing, they want to destroy that progress. You see the way that the minister is saying it, it's not the way you're going to see it when it happens. If somebody wants to wake up tomorrow now and say, okay, I want to start creating this bag or using this leather to create products in the country, you will see the same Nigerians fighting that person. The same Nigerians. Let me use Innocent for instance. Innocent started producing cars in the country. Yet people still fight him. People still fight him. Do you know that as crude oil can produce a lot of raw materials that can be exported outside the country. But if someone starts doing such production, they will start fighting that person. So tell me, how would the country want to go? How would the country want to explore into other activities? Because people want to always have backlash with them. So I believe that the country is not actually neglected. It's just that they have not given them the platform to do those kind of productions. That's my own view. So instead of wasting the animals or wasting the skins, they should eat it now, as per more.
Well, I'm talking about that Momo incident. We know that there's a point where the government came to say put a ban on the consumption of Momo. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, I heard something like that.
The unhygienic ways that it's actually being preserved, saying that we're not supposed to be consuming that skin as well. I don't know how the common man would see it, because some people would come to say you when you do not have money to buy meat and fish and other stuffs to possibly produce excuse me, possibly make a particular meal. How do you do that? They say I will have to end up with in as much as it might not be.
Is tasty now. Yeah. I think it's nice.
Yes, because
you've eaten it before, right? It's not tasty.
So some people will be like, I don't really know what the government's saying about this. But if we have to take this matter into the right thinking situation, the question will also be, do we have a leather industry in Nigeria?
Yes, I think there's
And
leather
it's
industry.
functioning.
It's just that they've not given them the platform to exploit. You know, one thing about production like this is enabling environment,
Okay.
supportive environment. It's not about you having the industry. It's the country supporting you.
Yes.
Because if the country not supporting you, you'll be having a lot of backlash. Yes. Because there are so many things when it comes to this production. There's so many when it comes to this production, the preservation, the drying, because I know they dry it and all this thing. Imagine they do that on natural source, which is the sun. It's going to take them time to produce even one leather material. But imagine there is industrial machines that can dry these leathers to the standard they need, or there are other machines that could cut them, because they could be saying it as raw material, like as raw as it is. They could even make more from that singular this thing. But because they are only doing it on the source of natural, which is the sun, they may not really know other ways of also preserving or refining those materials. But imagine it is a foreign country that they know that animal skin is very, they know, not that if they know that animal skin is really very important. But most of those countries don't really have availabilities of animals like that. I'm not saying they don't have animals, but unlike Africa that has a lot of species of animals, the likes of cow, the likes of other animal skins, even as low as even crocodile skin is still, even in this country, people still buy it. So imagine it is in a foreign country that all these animals are there. They'll be making billions of naira or billions of dollars rather. You understand? So imagine Nigeria giving them an enabling environment to them to showcase their skill, showcase their power of skillfulness. I think the country will move. At least that sector will actually produce a little, will actually add to our GDP and also rise our economy.
Sure. Thank you. And talking about enabling environment, why do you think the government, in as much as the minister has come to decry the neglect on leather industry, why do you think they have not provided that enabling environment? You made mention of the likes of innocent vehicles. Yes. You know, the reason why he's not allowed to, you know, in as much as they sell their cars, I don't know why he has not been allowed to have the platform to.
Up to now, he's not still the only producing. He's not yet licensed to be the producing one of the, what do they call it, car producing companies in Nigeria.
Okay.
Up to now.
Well, why do you think they have not allowed certain Nigerians that have the skill in to produce most of this raw materials to thrive in the country? You know, that's why I actually even have a leather industry in the country, because this is not a sector that most Nigerians want to embark on. You know, as much as you said it would build and increase the GDP of the country and all of that, there's not been so much attention given to it. As much as the minister has come to say this, no attention has been given to the leather industry in the country. We're
not
still
up to now. None.
Yes,
there's no factory. There's no factory except the one that is even in Kano, the northern part. I don't really know the state, but I know it's either one of these northern states. It's even manual. It's just people who sell cow meat. Okay,
so we're still talking about other industries, other sectors that need to be rehabilitated, revitalized as it stands. We will mention a whole lot of them if we have to, education and health and otherwise. You know, coming to say this about the leather industry, what are the necessary placements that has been put in order not to get neglected, as he has stated? I just want to get your thoughts on that.
He has not done anything yet. It's just a message, no action yet. He just said it. How many factories has he built? Or how many factories is he planning to build?
And why do you think there's no enabling environment for most of these individuals that want to engage in skills like this to thrive?
I think it says that because there is no factory. And even if someone wants to build a factory, the country will start fighting the person for this tax, so many registrations, so many policies will join it. And imagine someone is having a lot of policies to something that is going to be productive to the country, that can be exported. we people will pay in naira to get. You know, the more people export, the more Nigerian exports to other countries, our money is increasing because it now gains value. Because imagine we are selling those leathers in naira. Different parts of the world wants those leather. Different parts of the world want those leather. So imagine we have at least a factory in each of our senatorial zones in this country. At least a factory that produces raw leathers in the country. And this leather makes shoes too. This company makes shoes and also exports to countries that needs this shoe. Do you know how much you'll be making? Do you know how many people who import shoes? Do you know how much the amount of shoes?
And then the employment rates that will also increase.
Because those factories need people who will be doing jobs for them. They need people who will be doing the job for them. Do you know how many people that export shoes, leather shoes, every single day in the country? Imagine those leather shoes that are being produced in Nigeria and they are authentic and they are original and it has been marked that it's a good product. Foreigners will come here and buy those shoes. We have the raw materials. Most of these raw materials, they might get them from all these slaughters. All these places, they slaughter meat. They go there, get the skin, start drying them rather, and making them good leathers for people to consume or people to use to produce good materials that could help the nation. The agenda is for us to grow. And any little thing can make us grow. As a country that we have a lot of raw material that could make us one of the multi-billion countries in the world. We have every raw material. Crude oil alone, the production from crude oil alone, it's something that we cannot say. It's massive. But imagine that Nigeria as a country that has the raw crude oil, exports those crude oil to countries that they use it to do so many things for themselves and make themselves rich. But yet, we as a nation, imagine someone now start requesting for that crude oil. They will not give it to the person. Have the person gotten an enabling environment? No. The person will have to go and look for those countries that are exporting those oil to see how they can buy from them. It's in a country like this, you cannot even have access to raw crude oil. I know what everybody knows what Dangote is passing through because of crude oil. In a country that has crude oil, it's something we should question. So how would we have the enablement for even leather? For leather that is not even that rampant everywhere that you can just see it anywhere. Unlike crude oil, you could see crude oil in some part of the country. So where do you think, or how do you think they are going to give such leverage to it? So I think action, it has to start speaking on action, start sensitizing the people at the slaughter area to stop maybe burning the meat, burning the skin, and see how we can be able to extort them and start producing our leather. So if he's really serious about that job or serious about helping the country to develop that, I think they should first of all start with industrialization, investigate what part of the country that has a leather producing factory, and see how we can be able to learn from them or send people to learn from them and see how we could exploit every part of the nation, whereby shifting, that's like Aba. Imagine a factory is in Aba, a leather producing factory in Aba. It's really a big one, a very big one. So imagine something like that is in Aba and in Lagos. At least Aba and Lagos, it's something that's going to help us. Most of those things you see in Aba, those leather companies in Aba, they buy from foreign countries after we, the Nigerians, have exported to them. We still go and buy from them the one that has been refined. So where are we doing business? But imagine those productions are done here and it's being refined here, and we still make our raw shoes or make our own shoes and sell to our own people. A lot of people want to buy. You see, most of those Louis Vuitton bag that is very expensive is because of the amount of money they spend on exploiting raw leathers from Nigeria or from African nations. Not only Nigeria produces leather, there are other African nations that produces leather. So imagine the amount of money they spend on getting leather from several different parts of African nations. And imagine African nation taking those leather to start making those kind of bags and put it a name and start branding it. It will give us something to.
Thank you.